Welcome to Voices for Justice with Danielle. Injustice has become all too common, especially in Massachusetts. These cases are not just isolated incidents. They are part of a troubling pattern of cover-ups, corruption, and unanswered questions. Today, we are diving deep into 5 Massachusetts cases that expose alarming misconduct within law enforcement and the justice system. These are the cases of Karen Reed, John O'Keefe, Sandra Birchmore, Enrique Delgado Garcia, and Juston Root. Karen Reed is fighting for her life. Accused of killing her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe, in what authorities have framed as a hit and run, the case quickly took a suspicious turn. Reed's supporters, armed with evidence of her innocence, are questioning if the true culprit is being protected. Could the real story involve something far more sinister?
Police Department.
Sustained.
Nobody objected.
Jurors 6 and 11, they're with us. Juror number 6 and juror number 11, you're dismissed from this jury.
Can you tell us why?
Because this is my courtroom.
I want to make it very clear that I reject the notion that untrue and unsubstantiated rumors spread on the internet can force a judge to recuse herself from a case.
Judge Beverly Cannoni. She did not remove herself from this case.
Penny, it's interesting because this is the second juror that's been dismissed this week.
Yeah, Paula, it was a very strange start to the morning.
Experts have cast doubt on the official narrative. The injuries on John's body, inconsistencies in witness statements, tampered evidence, police behavior and inconsistencies, and the prosecutor and judge's indifference toward relevant evidence and facts, and general behavior during the trial point to a larger cover-up. How could Karen be solely responsible when so many questions remain unanswered? And why did authorities rush to close this case while narrowly focusing on one suspect and not following the evidence? A respected officer, John O'Keefe, was found unresponsive in strange circumstances. Official reports claim he was struck by Karen Reed's vehicle, but forensic experts suggest otherwise, with evidence of tampering with DNA and other evidence. What really happened that night? Was this a tragic accident, or is something being hidden from the public? Why have key pieces of evidence been mishandled or dismissed? Sandra Birchmore, a vulnerable 23-year-old woman, found dead after being groomed and exploited by multiple police officers. Investigations revealed a shocking abuse of power, but Sandra's death remained shrouded in mystery. Authorities claimed it was a suicide, but the lack of transparency in her case raises serious concerns about a cover-up. Her family demands answers. How could those sworn to protect her instead exploit her for personal gain? How can the public trust a system that allows officers to prey on the vulnerable and escape accountability? Enrique Delgado Garcia, a son, brother, and uncle, appearing to have been beaten to death during a training exercise. The footage from the training has not yet been released, raising serious doubts about what actually happened that day.
No one was injured during what was called the slip and slide at the State Police Academy in 2021. The recruit hijinks was just silly shenanigans. But the I-Team found state police training has a darker history, involving allegations of hazing and harassment. In 2005, an investigation found an instructor pushed recruits' heads into toilet bowls as punishment.
An investigation is underway at the Massachusetts State Police Academy.
And in 2022, 20 recruits suffered serious burns on their hands after instructors had them bear crawl on hot pavement. Just last week, 25-year-old recruit Enrique Delgado Garcia died after I-Team sources say he was injured during a boxing exercise. The Worcester County District Attorney promised an outside investigation, but it has been 7 days, and no independent agency has been publicly named to take over the case. And in the wake of Delgado's death, a former classmate came forward, alleging discrimination and humiliation at the academy. All of that sparking concern by the ACLU about the lack of oversight of the state police.
The ACLU is calling on the federal authorities to urgently step in and initiate a federal investigation into his death and the surrounding circumstances.
Why were Enrique's injuries inconsistent with a supervised training exercise? Why have other police recruits come forward with allegations of harassment, bullying, and hazing, with no changes being made? Could this tragedy have been avoided? Once again, we see a familiar pattern of authorities covering their tracks, hiding behind the thin blue line, while families are left grieving with no closure. Juston Root, a man experiencing a mental health crisis, gunned down by police after a pursuit. A quickly escalating encounter led to Juston being shot multiple times by officers who claimed he was dangerous. But further investigation revealed Juston was so severely injured by a gunshot wound sustained earlier that day, he could not have been a threat at the time of his death.
Surveillance footage captured the moment that Boston police encountered a suspected gunman outside Brigham and Women's Hospital, first appearing to help them in this clip, and then pulling out what appears to be a weapon.
They had a report of an individual that had brandished a firearm and had a gun.
But that gun, according to Suffolk County District Attorney Rachel Rollins today, turned out to be fake, and it was carried by this man, 41-year-old Juston Root, whose family says suffered from mental illness. Authorities say Root pulled the replica gun on several security officers at the hospital, followed by 2 Boston police officers who responded to their calls.
Officer number 1 then fired several shots. There was also a second officer that witnessed this encounter and discharged his weapon as well.
One of those shots hit a hospital valet here, and Root was also injured, seen here limping to his car and then driving away. He would later crash it miles away in Brookline, and after an altercation with police there, was shot and killed.
His family has been left in agony, demanding justice for Juston. The officers involved in his death were cleared of wrongdoing, leaving the question, when will law enforcement be held accountable for taking innocent lives? Was this a case of protecting their own, or was it sheer negligence covered up by legal loopholes? These cases may seem different, but they share an alarming common thread: a lack of accountability, inconsistencies in official reports, and a deep-rooted culture of corruption. Whether it's protecting fellow officers, manipulating evidence, or hiding the truth, the justice system continues to fail the very people it is meant to protect. We need answers. We demand justice for the victims. No more silence. No more cover-ups. The truth must come out, and those responsible must be held accountable. Share this video, spread the word, and join the fight for transparency in law enforcement and the justice system. Because no one is above the law. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.